Hey everybody, welcome to Thoughts Create Things. So choose them wisely, 7 simple steps to creating your dream life through your thoughts. And before we even get started, I just want to give a little side note to this. This was actually the first webinar that I had ever done, and it was such a huge hit, such a success. I had, I think, either almost 300 or a little over 300 people register. So I'm super excited to turn this into a live call for you. I'm your host, Denise Dominguez, and tonight we are going to be talking about choosing the right thoughts to manifest your dream life. That's super important. So here's a couple of pain points. Are you frustrated that you can never seem to be able to control your mind chatter? That's a big one, I know. Is fear and worrying thoughts consuming your mind? Yeah, you can type yes in the chat box if you like. Well, stay tuned because tonight you will get the answers. So just a quick run through of what we're going to cover tonight. As always on my live training calls, we will have some Q&A at the end. So if you have a question, you can either put it in the chat box now or you can write it down and ask me later, but I always give you time at the end to ask any questions you need answered. And please make sure that you're in full attendance tonight, meaning cell phones, silent your cell phones and close out those other tabs that are on the computer. And, go to a quiet place. I call it my sacred place to hear this information because after all, you deserve this time for yourself. So my starting point was after 22 years of being in a very toxic marriage, I decided it was time to leave. I left and moved 3 states away with having no job in Florida, where I'm from, and no job in North Carolina, where I was moving to. And I still managed to manifest $10,000 to leave Florida. And that's not including the 10 days that I was in Colorado on vacation. I did this in only 5 months. I made a plan and I followed it and did everything that I set out to do. I became a women's empowerment coach after knowing I wanted to help women get out of that stuck space that they're in. And it's been my focus and goal ever since then. So where am I now? For years and years, I lived in fear. Fear of being on my own financially with 2 kids, thinking, what am I going to do? Leaving Florida and starting a new life, like that was huge for me to leave the only state that I had ever lived in and moving to a whole different area. I manifested the $10,000 in 5 months with no job, just a plan, and most importantly, trusting myself that I could do this. And we're going to talk about that tonight, the importance of trusting yourself. And that is a practice. Practice. I say this all the time. So the practice of changing your thoughts, whether you are in the process of a breakup or you are now ready for a new love, or maybe you just want to do you. Either way, your thoughts have gotten you to where you are now, and your thoughts will get you to where you want to be. So like I said, hundreds had registered for this when I first did it as a webinar. So congrats on taking a step into knowing that it is you that is in control of your life and taking a step into your power. All right, every day, start like this. I say this on every interview I do, every tip that I can give. When you start off your morning and you're brushing your teeth, looking at yourself in the mirror, hold on, let me close out my Facebook because I'll hear that. You want to do this because mirror work is so powerful. And who we are is our thoughts. So every day when you're brushing your teeth in the mirror in the morning and you're looking at yourself in the mirror, notice what you are thinking. Notice that conversation you're having with yourself. When you wake up, in the morning, notice your thoughts, be mindful of them, and throughout the day. Because like I said, this is a practice. This is not going to just click and be overnight. This is definitely a practice. However, the more you practice, the better you will be at it. So, practice of changing your thoughts. All right, the second one, writing your thoughts down every night or every morning. Journaling. That's super important. Asking specific questions. And here's a few that you can start with. These are a couple that I give away on interviews or tips. What action can I take today to create? And then you fill in the blank. So I'll say that again. Actually, and I'll put it in the chat for you. What action can I take today to create blank? So give me a second and I will put that in the chat. What action can I take today to create? And then I'll just put ... with a question mark. All right. Okay. And then the second one is, how does it get any better than this? This is a question that you can use whether something good happens or something not so good. And I'm going to explain the purpose of these open-ended questions. How does it get any better than this? Okay. We are our thoughts, and we're energy, and we're vibrations. That we send out vibrations to the universe, and the universe gives us exactly what we want. So when we ask these types of questions, what we're doing is we're sending out that vibration. So the secret to these questions is for you not to answer them in your head. So here's a little analogy that I give to all of my clients or anybody that I talk to on the phone. Let's say you go into a grocery store. You've never been in this grocery store before, totally new, and you ask the clerk for some brown rice. You're relying on this clerk to guide you and show you where the brown rice is, right? So you follow him, and you have no clue where this brown rice is. As you go in the store, around, and down the aisle, I mean, all the way till you get to where the rice is, and he literally puts his hand on it, that's when you know where the brown rice is. So that is how the energy that you have to have when you ask these questions. And the universe is the clerk. And you're trusting this universe, you're trusting the clerk to guide you to where the brown rice is, and you're trusting the universe to bring you the answer to whatever question that you're asking. Does that make sense? I hope so. It's something that it's easy to understand when I put it in terms like this. So how long does this take? Practicing on changing your thoughts is an everyday thing. Every day. You have to get in the habit of doing this. Because the reality is nothing changes until you do. You can't expect different things to show up in your life if you're doing the same old, same old. So there is no time limit or expectation. The joy is feeling the shift of energy and seeing the results. And you will. I promise you, you will. So how does it get any better than that? Here's another good question. What would it take for blank to show up? And final question, what energy, space, and consciousness can I be to receive blank right away? That's 4 questions. All right. Words are secondary thoughts. They travel far. So this is a quote by the Buddha, and I love Buddha. What we think, we become. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. I love Buddha, and I love his quotes. And I'm just going to have a couple of them in here. Here's another one about awareness. Once you become consciously aware of just how powerful your thoughts are, you will realize everything in your life is exactly how you allow it to be. And that quote is by Melanie Coruchis. I know I screwed her name up. All right, so let's get into trusting yourself. Magic is believing in yourself. If you can do that, you can make anything happen. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little story. If you've been on my webinars or my calls, I know you've heard it, but I can't stress enough to you the importance of trusting yourself. And the point to my story, it's my Colorado story, the point to my story is that when you want something, you say yes to it first and not think about all the details of that, whether that's time or money or whatever. You let that go. And you trust that you're making the right decision. Okay, so Colorado. In 2011, when I left my relationship, my 22-year marriage, and had this opportunity come to me that fly out to Colorado, a state that I had never been in, stay out there for X amount of days, I didn't know at the time, and then drive back from Colorado all the way down to South Florida. Well, the thing that attracted me the most about this opportunity was, number one, I'd never been in Colorado, and number two, the driving from Colorado all the way down to South Florida. That was exhilarating to me. Like, I was like, ooh, I get to see all those states. Like, that's so cool. I've never, prior to that, I had only been Georgia, Alabama, North Carolina, Tennessee, and I think that's it. So that's what made me excited about that. But when I was approached with this opportunity, the first thought that came to my head was, no, because I was saving money. Remember, I was trying to manifest $10,000 for me to leave Florida on my own, and I had no job. I had no job in Florida, and I had no job in North Carolina. So that was my first thought, was no. And then my second thought was, this is literally the conversation that went on in my head in that moment. Okay, Denise, well, if you were married, you wouldn't be allowed to do this. And now you're letting money be an excuse. So that's exactly what it was. It was just an excuse. So in that moment, I said, well, I really said, fuck it. I was like, screw it. Yeah, I'm going to say yes. Then I was going to trust that I would be able to do this and still be able to manifest the money. So I said yes to the Colorado trip. I was out there for 10 days, had an amazing time, got to see a beautiful state, got to go white river rafting that I had never done before in the beautiful mountains of Colorado, visited Red Rocks, and just had such an amazing time. And then the drive back from Colorado to South Florida, I could literally write a book just on that experience because that was so much fun. But the point is that I wanted to do it. I wanted to go to this state. I wanted to drive back. I wanted to experience that. And so that's the energy that you need to be. If you want to do something, whatever that is, whether it's a trip or, go ahead and say yes, because that is the vibration that you're giving out to the universe. And everything will fall into place. It really does. I still manifested the $10,000 that I needed to move from Florida to North Carolina, even though I was 10 days in Colorado, because I trusted that I was going to have it. I believed it. I trusted in it. And that's the energy that you have to have. So can you think of something right now that you want? Whatever it is, it could be a pair of shoes, it could be a trip that you've been wanting to go on, it could be a girls' night out, it could be, anything. Think of what that is, and if that's something that you really want, then go ahead and say yes to it. See what that feels like. Okay, attracting through thoughts. Here's I think it's a quote. It just says, aware relationships. Okay, you attract what you think. Don't feed the thoughts that bring you what you don't want. Observe them and let them go. So that's another point to this, is that you attract what you think. So don't feed your thoughts. Don't feed your negative thoughts. All right, here's a couple questions for you. Not questions to use, these are just my questions to you. So I want to ask you, do you ever catch yourself on autopilot? Yeah, especially driving, right? We're just like going through the motions, maybe thinking about a random or insignificant things. Yeah, I know that is a common thing for all of us. So getting your mind chatter under control and manifesting your dream life is not a quick fix, like I said. And anyone who says it isn't being honest with you. This is a topic I cover in depth in my coaching. If you stay tuned to the end, I will share with you how you can get more info on a group coaching course that I am offering right now, which is filling up as we speak. All right, gratitude is a great shifter. I say this all the time, because it really is. I mean, do you go through the day thinking what you're thankful for? Because that's huge. I was just checking the chat box. Okay. That's huge. To go, like, when your mind is on autopilot and you catch yourself, you got to revert your feeling, your thoughts back to what you're focusing on. Whether that's a simple affirmation, I love myself, or what else is possible? How does it get any better than this? Questions like that. Thinking what you're thankful for. Like today I'm going to, blah, 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 and I'm so excited. And I'm thankful that I have this job. I'm thankful that I have my friends. I'm thankful for my family. Gratitude is a great shifter. Journaling, even if you just write 5 things that you're grateful for. So when I first heard this, it was through Oprah. Write down 5 things that you're grateful for. And I'm telling you, I was like, that's a lot. I don't think I could think of 5 things that I'm grateful for every single day. Literally, that was my first thought when I saw this. I was like, that's a lot. Really, Denise? I could think of 100 things I'm grateful for now that I could write different every single day. So just try it. If 5 is too much for you, go to 3, go to 2. The point of all of this is just to get started. That is the point of all of this. If anything that I say in this call or any of my calls that you're on seems overwhelming to you, chunk it down. Take it, like I said, this is 5 things. Do 3 things. Do 2 things. The point is just do it. Get started. Because nothing is going to change until you do. Okay, so challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to 2 things every day. Or if you can, do 5 things if you really want to challenge yourself. So 5 different things every day that you're grateful for. Step it up and find 8 different things each day, right? It gets easier with practice. I promise you. It really, really does. When you go and do these gratitude journaling, this is not something that you need to I'm grateful for my Mercedes Benz, or, you don't have to have these huge things. It really is the smallest and simplest things that you're grateful for. That's the vibration that you're going to send out to the universe. No matter what kind of car you have, even one that putt-putts and smokes, be grateful for it. You have a car. You're not at the bus stop. And if you're at the bus stop, be grateful that you have 2 legs to be at the bus stop. There's always something to be grateful for. So whatever you focus on, you get more of. So why focus on the past and what happened rather than focus on what is good in your life right now? Be grateful. It serves you. And I talk about this a lot. You know, when I left Florida and left my ex, it wasn't all peaches and cream. Financially, it was. I was doing great. But emotionally, I really went through some stuff that I didn't even realize I was going through. So, but I didn't hate him and I wasn't bitter. It was just, you know, my family was broken up now and that was sad to me. So, you know, be patient with yourself through this process, whatever process you're going through, be patient with yourself and love yourself through this. That is so important. So it doesn't have to be that you're going through a breakup. It could be that you are just stuck in whatever, stuck in life, whatever. We all go through it. Be patient with yourself and love yourself through this process. That is so, so, so important. More quotes. All right, Dalai Lama. This quote is, when you think everything is someone else's fault, you will suffer a lot. When you realize that everything springs only from yourself, you will learn both peace and joy. Pride leads to violence and evil. The truly good gaze upon everything with love and understanding. I am so embracing that more and more every day. There is no fault. It's nobody's fault for anything. And there is no shame and there is no blame. You know, if you follow me, you know that my signature speech is own your story so your story doesn't own you. And there's a reason why that is my signature speech, because I struggled so much to own my story. And that says it right there. That just, it's nobody's fault. No, don't suffer. It is what it is. What happened, happened. Let it go. All right. So if you could see my screen right now, it has the whole Apple decline accept phone call, like a call's coming in. And when I did my webinar, this was the picture I had up. And it says, your dreams are calling. Your dreams are calling you. And there's decline and accept. Okay? So your dreams are calling you. Are you going to pick it up? Just reflect over deep inside. Do we dare to take the call? Fear. The amount of resistance, unwillingness to open up shows how near or far we are from them. Step outside your comfort zone. That's a part of trusting yourself too, right? Stepping outside your comfort zone and trusting that all will be okay. So I'm going to go into a little story of my resistance in getting out of my own way. Whew, which one will I tell you? Okay, the one that's come into my head, which that's the one I'm going to go with. I had just signed up with my first business coach, and she's very high end, and I was scared shitless of what I had gotten myself into. I did trust myself on the call. I did sign up with her, and to this day, it's still one of the best decisions that I've ever made. You know, but fear crawled in, and I opened the door and I let fear come in. False evidence appearing real. So my fear was, number one, I wasn't going to be able to pay her bill. And I was in a 1-year contract with her. And my other fear was I was doing my first interview series. If you follow me, you know I'm working on the 6th one, and now I'm going to be doing live ones. First one is in Toronto. But you know, doing the first one, I was so scared. I was like, I don't know how to interview people. I have to call, you know, ask these experts that have a full-fledged coaching business and I'm going to interview them? Like, it was really, really scary to me. So I had those two things going. How was I going to pay the bill? And how was I going to pay my coaching bill? And doing this interview series that I had to put together. And through my thoughts at that time, I totally bombed. I totally went into not trusting myself, went into fear, went into resistance, and created like a typhoon in my life, literally. I got laid off from my new job that I had only had about 2 months. Brought on a ton of anxiety and depression, to the point where, if you know me, you know I'm totally against taking pills, but I was so desperate that I was calling up my doctor and telling them, like, shaking my leg, going, I need something. You got to give me something, like a crackhead, really. So they gave me something and had so many side effects. And, you know, I wanted a quick fix. I wanted this to, like, fix me. I took it like 2 days, and of course, no results in 2 days. So I was back on the phone with the doctor. You got to give me something else. I need to take something else. They give me something else on top of what I was already taking. Here I am, somebody who totally believes in holistic medicines and holistic healing and never taking pills unless, like, I have a headache. And here I am taking 2 medications within like 3 days of this, right? Not me. Totally not me. So here's what happened. I flushed the pills down the toilet because I was having such bad side effects in just a short amount of time. And I was sleeping during the day, had no job, really had a lot of depression and anxiety. And it was getting to the point where I was rescheduling from the parking lot of a job interview that I was completely dressed and ready to go into this job interview, calling them from the parking lot saying that I was sick and I can't make it. Can I reschedule? That's how bad my anxiety was. That bad. Just all of the thoughts that were going on in my head. And so my daughter happened to be in Florida in this time period. And I was home. Now I'm home, and took a nap, and really just was like, this is crazy. This is ridiculous. So I woke up, I went and brushed my teeth, and I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and here's where everything changed. I looked into my eyes and I said, Denise, this is bullshit. Enough is enough. Make something happen now. That was the day my daughter was on her way back from Florida. She had no idea of anything that I was going through. She was literally flying back. I brushed my teeth, got on the computer, and I looked for something natural for me to take to help with my anxiety. GNC had something. I got dressed, got in my car, hit GNC first, picked up whatever pills those were, all natural. I think they're called stress and anxiety, night and day. I highly recommend those, by the way. The nighttime pills smell like dirty dog, but they work. Anyways, went to the mall. From GNC, went to the mall, got my daughter a birthday gift, some balloons, I don't know, some birthday stuff, cake, I don't know, and came home. And then by that time she was home. And from that day forward, I stopped the resistance. I moved forward. I kept going with my coaching program that I was in. I completed that interview series that I was so scared to do. And actually, not only did I walk through the fire and completed that, but I did 2 more in the next 12 months, which people who have done that are like, whoa, that's Incredible that you did 3 in 1 year. Yeah, I did 3 in that year. You know why? Because I wanted to prove to myself that I could do this, and 1 wasn't enough. So because of all of that I went through, I went and did it again and again. Like, yeah, Denise, you can do this. Don't let resistance stop you. Don't let your fears stop you. Make things happen. So there you go. There's my story of resistance and getting out of my own way. You gotta just make things happen. You've gotta think about what is it that you want to create in your life. You've gotta look at yourself in the mirror and have that hard conversation with yourself. Literally kick your own ass. That's what I did. I kicked my own ass. Enough is enough. This is bullshit. Make things happen. So, here we are, January 31st, new year, new you. And I've created a sisterhood, my group coaching. Because through my own coach, I know how important community really is. And if you would like, I have a short video I can email you all about how important community is. I actually filmed it on San Diego Beach when I was at my mastermind, and just really realizing after I had been with this group for a year and just really knowing how important community is. Well, with this group that I have, we uncover your hidden strengths. You will discover your inner age and how you're showing up in the world and what that means. We reroute misdirected fear so you can live a life you love and adore. Finally. How's that sound? We meet twice a month for a group call, and we also have a private Facebook group for our sisterhood and support. You get 6 15-minute private coaching calls with me throughout this program, which is only 6 months. You are never alone in this journey. So I put this together and I made it super, super, super affordable. Super affordable. I priced it to where even at my lowest point financially that even I could afford it. So if you want to know more about it, we can always get on a phone call. I do offer 90-minute coaching calls, free of charge, complimentary. And in all of my calls, 90-minute calls, I give you tools that you can start using right away. So if you want to take a look at that video that I made on San Diego Beach, just let me know. You can email me at denised000@gmail.com. It's a quick 4 minutes. It's super fast. It's just really enlightening and what I discovered, and I just wanted to share it with you. So here is some more resistance continued. A year from now, everything you're stressing about won't even matter. This is awesome because that was the realization that I came to. And it was through that story that I just told you about. A year had passed after that, after me losing my job and having that anxiety and the depression and all of that. A year had passed. And then a year later, I'm looking back and I'm going, holy crap. That's a distant memory already. It was only 1 year. So I posted this on Facebook. If I could only go into detail of where I was a year ago, yes, what I was stressing about doesn't matter today. My anxiety was through the roof then, and I simply could not let my daughter see me like that. So I looked at myself in the mirror and kicked my own ass. I told myself that I needed to make a change and get through this crap, and I did. I pushed through it, and how wonderful it is to be where I am today. Take time for yourself and know that what is stressing you out today will not even matter a year from now. Huge. So I got some hashtags in here. Love my coach, comfort zone, zone 3, my life, patience, trust yourself. It's so possible. All right, here are your 7 steps to creating a life that you love and a life that you can create through your thoughts. All right, number 1, be aware of your current thoughts. Whenever you think of a negative thought, think this: erase it and replace it. Again, this is a practice, you guys. It's really a practice. So this is coming to my head, so I need to tell it to you. How many of you know how to play football on here? Probably not too many. Like physically play football. I'm just going to go and think, no, you don't. But wonder if in 6 months you needed to learn how to play football because your life depended on it. Would you learn? Would you be willing to learn how to play football? I'm going to go on a limb and say yes, you would. Well, this is just like football. It's a practice. You don't know how to play football, you start off and you practice, right? And the more you practice playing football, the better you get at it. And the better you get at it, you might even like it, right? To the point where you don't need to practice 5 days a week, maybe 3 hours a day or 5 hours a day, whatever it is. You can scale back once you get to know how to play football easily, 3 days a week or less hours, right? That's what this is about. This is a practice. Everything that I teach in these live training calls, this is a practice that you have to implement into your life in order to see change. And it takes time. It's not an overnight fix. It takes time. So take the time to invest in you. Practice. And then once you get to a point where you're used to it, it's like now your autopilot is, I love myself, or whatever, it is, whatever mantra or whatever it is that you have in your head, you have it in control. You're meditating every day. You disconnected yourself from negative people, negative thoughts, news media, all the crap that people put on Facebook. Get rid of it. Sucks your energy. You don't need it. Practice. It's a practice. I slowly did all those things that I just told you about. All right, so number 3, use questions and watch what shows up. Use those questions that I gave you. Those questions are powerful, and they're open-ended questions because why? Because you're sending out the vibration to the universe, for the universe to bring you the answer. Don't answer the question. Remember, you're asking for the brown rice. You don't know where the brown rice is. You're relying on the clerk to show you where the brown rice is. Okay, journaling every day. So important. Using gratitude every day. Trusting yourself. And finally, move the fear. May sound simpler than what it is, but it's possible. Once you recognize fear for what it is, it's possible. Still practice. I'm not saying like when fear doesn't step in for me, it still does. And I still have to knock it out. All right. So there are the 7 steps that I promised you in this live training call. But ladies, it doesn't stop here. Having the tools is just one part of it. You have to use the tools every day and in the correct way. So tell me, how are you going to do that? Nothing changes until you do. Just like the story of me saying yes to Colorado. That is the energy you have to have towards life. Trust yourself. It's so important to trust yourself. If I didn't trust myself in that story and so many more, I would not be here, helping women all over the world with my coaching. So what is your dream life? What do you really want out of life? Think about that for a second. If there was nothing standing in your way, nothing, nobody standing in your way, there's no money issues, what is your dream life? What would you want out of life? And do you know that you can have that? I'm here to tell you can. So I would love to show you just like a bullet point summary of what my dream life is. And this is something that I'm working on. If you're on my live calls, you know, I show you every time. Beach house. This is a picture of the back patio. This is an actual house for sale in like the west coast of Florida. So my dream life consists of me having a beach house and being a snowbird, living in Florida for 6 months out of the year and living here in North Carolina for the other 6 months out of the year. I mean, I've created a laptop life for myself, so why not? So do you have your dream life front and center? You think about it every single day. Do you know that I visualize myself in that chair every single day? I visualize myself doing yoga on this patio, meditating every day, every time I look at my phone. It's possible. You have to practice. This is such a practice. And you can do it. I promise you, you can do it. All right, so we are ending. So as always, I am going to take you off of mute if I can. How do I do that? Unmute all. Does anybody have any questions or comments or anything that they would like to have addressed? Oh, thank you, Edmund. I love sharing my wisdom. Anybody? All right. Well, I am going to end with this tonight. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you showing up and really investing in yourself, because that is what's important. You are the most important. And every Tuesday I do these calls. So let's see what's next week. Self-love, because it's going to be February 3rd. I wanted to do this before Valentine's Day. So self-love, discover how loving yourself is the recipe to having him love you. So for Edmund, it would be her love you.
Thank you very much, Denise.
You're welcome. So yeah, join me next Tuesday, self-love, and the next one after that is going to be how to visualize and manifest things into your life. So thank you so much for being here. Bye.
Have a great evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.